Verbal violence.
Verbal
my bad.
violence.
Okay.
Verbal violence.
Verbal violence.
Good night, Malulani.
I heard you.
We are live like Lizzo.
Like, listen, did you see her in the see-through joint?
I was on that. I got that
I
pinned
was
up.
on that. Did you save it?
If
Did
I
you save it?
it's screenshotted. Best believe
Oh
I
my
made a whole
God.
spread.
Oh my gosh, send it to me. I need that.
No,
Don't play, man.
if I ever
I like
get
her.
locked up, that's
Don't
what's
talk
gonna
bad
be
about
on
her.
my wall. Like,
All right.
I'm gonna pin that up on my wall.
Yo,
her,
that is a
man.
dope. That is a dope masturbation picture. I'm sorry
Oh
for the
my
visual.
goodness.
Oh,
It's going
God.
to you might get out the next day. You might get out the next day.
That's true. That's true. They're like, yo, just take your poster with you,
Yo,
homie.
Nigga, that divine energy, nigga. They gonna be like, listen, he needs to go home now. Like,
nah. Did you see what he was jacking off to, fam? We skidding him out.
Call the DA. Call the
you
DA.
might as well have a picture of Precious up there, nigga. Goodness gracious.
No, what if you had that combo though? You had Lizzo, Precious.
Ooh,
Who else?
oh.
Nah, you getting out of jail, fam. I'm telling you. If you got some
Yeah,
people that's locked
yeah.
up, y'all jacking off to the
Yo.
pretty girls. Now, not even to say that
Mhm.
Lizzo not pretty, not to say that Precious not pretty, but I'm telling you, you gotta
You talk about
switch the
socially
neural
accepted.
pathways.
Yes.
You
You got to
gotta.
change the algorithm.
That's Mama Venus. She like, I could get you up out of here. You working with the
ASAP.
gods that put you in here, right? You
Word.
jacking off to that negative energy. You need to jack off to this positive energy.
Mhm.
Get you some Lizzo, my guys, that's locked up.
Oh,
Get
snap.
you a bunch of Lizzo, a bunch
And
of
put her
Precious.
on your
Who
prison
else?
wall.
Yes,
That's
and
right.
get to it.
Yo, when
You'll be out.
she did that see-through joint on the catwalk, I was like, yo, now I know why I still like big girls. Nigga.
Yeah, that's when it triggered my
Mm.
flame back. It got me back into the spirit. I swear to God. I swear to God. What are y'all laughing at? I'm so
I'm laughing with
serious.
you, nigga. I ain't laughing at you. I'm laughing with you, nigga. Like, that shit is tough right there.
Got me back into the spirit. No.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
man.
yes, we're back. In the description, it is the link to get on the chat. We got some topics in reference to these boys' specialties. But, before we get into our topics, before we get into our conversation, I just want to give a check. 1, 2, 2, 2 to the collective, to the tribe. How's everybody doing? How everybody feeling? I ain't about to introduce these dudes. They going to introduce themselves in the order that they feel like introducing themselves. If they want to do a free-for-all, fight it all out to see who goes first, second, or third, or shoot dice, however they want to decide it. It's up to them.
I
I'ma
like
fall
that.
back.
I like that.
I'll start it off as the mayor.
So y'all
Yeah.
not going to do a Royal Rumble?
Too much.
I'll fight like an old man. I'll sit back and let them go first.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. But Jeff, G Elijah here. Happy to be in the space again. Appreciate the opportunity. And yeah, thanks to everyone tuning in, and check me out. Follow me on Instagram, g.elijah144, as well as my business page, Elijah Green 144. Haven't been posting too much lately, but please know that you'll be seeing a lot from me coming up.
Sacred Dark Serpent, Instagram. Don't deal with anything else other than these days, other than Instagram. Deep in this Tantra thing, baby. Bringing this Tantra to the light. It's time to bring this Tantra back to the people. It's time to give the people something that they have been churning for. They just don't know that they're churning for it. But once again, gotta give my respects to Hood. Gotta give my respects to the people for the space. Prime Harmonic, Elijah. Very thankful for being here. I'm only here so I don't get fined. So I'm hoping that somebody has my keychain and water bottle from Chakra Nova because they told me this was a class reunion. But I don't know. Outside of that, I'm very thankful. I'm very grateful, and let's get it popping.
Word. Prime Harmonic. I'm on Gmail, prime.harmonic@gmail.com, and Instagram is prime.harmonic. I'm still into my martial arts, and Hood helped me come with the resolutions. Like, man, you got to train more. That's why you feeling funky. And I was like, all right. So I've been working on a book, hoping to release that at some point soon, dealing with breathing in the body. But true to life, you know, nobody should be putting out a book that they ain't practicing, right? So I've been practicing my breathing and my inner kung fu and how to view time. And we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. So.
You do feng shui?
I tried, but then I got married and she had a whole different idea.
You don't know Nan. You don't know Nan. You said how Trina said, you don't know Nan. You don't do no feng shui. You don't know Nan. No, I'm sorry.
So, before we get into what we came here to get into, let's get into what we didn't plan to get into, but I just thought of it as y'all was talking. So, we interjecting and projecting and things of that nature. The first question that I want to throw out to you fellas is transformation. Now, don't answer this right away, right? Think about it. What does it mean to be a transformed black man in America? And if it's transformed into a Moorish or Hebrew Israelite, I say Islam and, you know, Hotep to you, whatever transformation looks like. Is it an alien? Are we becoming ambidextrous? Meaning, like, what does black men evolve into beyond spirituality, if you dare?
Damn, that was left field.
That's a book, man. That's a book. I'll start. I'll talk about physical presence, because I've noticed that and this beyond white or black, people tend to expect from other people, right? Every culture is different. If you go to one country, they might walk or drive on the left side of the road, and over here we drive or walk on the right side. You know, so everybody got their cultural way that they move and that they act. So looking at this country in particular, when we go outside our door, and by we, I mean black men, when we go outside our door, we're expected to look a certain way or act a certain way by those around us from whatever they saw, whether it was TV, movies, their families, whatever, right? And anytime that we exit those expectations, the sirens go off. Weird stuff happens. People ask you, are you all right? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And I think a transformed, melanated man in this country looks unexpected, looks
so they're not black, they're melanated, just to be clear. No.
Black.
No, I'm just
you
playing.
Call them what you want.
I'm just playing.
Everybody got melanin. Is how much,
That's the
right?
socially accepted word, melanated.
Yeah.
All right, I
like it. I like it.
It was a joke.
Like
it was a joke. I wasn't being serious.
I'm just saying, you know what I'm talking about.
Let's be melanated.
Who's more
now.
likely to get pulled over by the cop?
Anybody second that? I think melanated should be better than black. Let's go.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if you pack in enough melanin that makes you a danger to society in the cop's eyes, I'm talking to you.
Yeah, because Billy be like, how you doing, officer? He be like, how you
Walk
doing,
right
Billy?
Yeah.
It'd be a different energy when I walk down the street.
No.
Let's keep it going though.
No, because Billy could curse that nigga out and get away with it.
And get away with it, right. We'll be held for...
What the fuck are you doing, man? Right. I was on my way to my fucking park, dude.
No, I don't know how fast I was driving.
Yes, I have guns. I got 6 rifles in my trunk.
Guns
I
and
got
drugs.
a deer and a nigger. Now leave me the fuck alone.
I know your father.
Do you know what my
He
mother
runs your
is?
precinct.
It's hitting too close to home.
And I'm drunk.
Oh, my
I've been popping pills too. Leave me the fuck alone. Well, I'm sorry. I'll let you go. I didn't know you were that busy.
Exactly. So, I've been practicing. I thought I practiced this when I was in my 20s, and I seem to have forgotten because I started working around all these scientific engineering motherfuckers that don't look like me. But I realized that I had to redo my posture. You understand what I'm saying?
Say more. Speak more to read. What? Explain this, because a lot of us is raised by single moms and dads was in and out of our lives. Like, come on, man. Posture. Yep. What is that? I never heard of that. What is that?
So posture, how you hold your bones, how you use muscles to hold your bones, right? Gravity by itself will stack your bones. But if you walk outside and you allow your spine to stretch, you allow your neck to stretch so that your head is up and your chin is up, and then you walk without slouching, without crunching, then it's a whole different way that people treat you. Now, if you go into certain neighborhoods and you walk like that, you better walk slow. I'm just gonna say it like that. But there's some places and sometimes where you do have to walk like you hard, the hunch shoulder look, to like what, like you ready to fight kind of thing. Sometimes it's necessary, but that ain't what I'm talking about. In general society, every day, you should be able to walk with your head high and your back normal, and walk like you ain't being troubled, walk like you ain't being chased, walk like you ain't looking over your shoulder, walk like you know where you're going and you got this. And it's like, to me, when I see Black men walk like that, my first thought is, how can I support you? How can I help you, right? If I see anybody around them looking shady or looking at them in a way that would want to tear them down, then I will make sure that my presence is known to say, hey, if you mess with this brother, you messing with this brother too, right? If I see a woman walking like that with her head up, walking proud, walking straight, and somebody look like they want to start messing with her, I let them know, hey, you're going to be messing with me too, right? Because that posture is a portrayal of your spiritual energy.
Hold up.
And to me, that's what a transformed melanated
Say that again. I want to write that down. Posture.
I don't even remember what the hell I said.
Man, you said posture. Man, damn. You said some fly shit.
It's a reflection of your spiritual energy.
Yeah,
it's a reflection of your spiritual posture. Is a reflection
of your spiritual energy.
Can somebody put that in the chat? That gotta be.
So
you gotta spread the word. Posture is a reflection of your spiritual energy.
I got a good example. If you've ever seen a Tyson fight, I'm talking before the ear biting, okay? Even I think he was cool after the ear bites too. I love you, Tyson. But if you've ever seen the Mike Tyson fight, when he stepped into the ring, he stood up straight. He might have pounded his fist. He might have been looking around a little bit, but he was just standing. He was just standing there, right? He wasn't like looking like he was concerned, worried, or anything like that. Well, any boxer, really, they do that. But Tyson had a different way of doing it. Bruce Lee had a different way of doing it. When he stood up and when he moved around, you knew he meant business. So that's all I'm saying. Just get that. Don't be walking around with your head down.
What's some steps to, if I never even realized my posture was a reflection of my spiritual energy?
Yep.
Give me some, because we transforming as melanated men.
You're right.
How do I, give me 1, 2, 3 steps, some easy shit to kind of just get my mindset in, okay.
Yeah.
Repositioning my posture, something to be mindful of as I go throughout my day, or even when I'm pissed off.
Yep.
How could I get my posture in check? Because I figure when I'm pissed off, my posture might go a little crazy.
Yeah. So there was this guy in my neighborhood on Taylor Street, Northwest, and this was when I was living in DC. and he used to stand out on his porch. So like me, my friend Bobby and Keith, my brother, we'd be walking by him. And as Black men, you kind of get beat early in life to learning how to walk with your head down. And sometimes we would be walking by him with our head down, and he would be standing up. He'd have his hands behind his back, you know, hands folded. And he'd look at us, he'd be like, "What you looking down for, young man? What's there on the ground for you? How you gonna see where you're walking if you're looking down? You need to be looking ahead of you." You know, and we called him Mr. Holler. And I wish to God I could remember his name properly so I could give him his props, but we called him Mr. Holler. But every time we walked by, we knew that if we ever saw him outside, we shouldn't be walking like this with our head down. If we saw him outside, we knew, whoop, straighten up and walk right in our power. So step one, look up. Even if you ain't gonna look up into the sky to see that the sun is actually in Libra and not Scorpio. even if you ain't gonna look into the sky.
That was a shot. That was a shot. I heard that. That was a shot. Listen, I heard
fired.
that. That was a
Shots
that was
fired.
an arrow. That was an arrow. Listen, go ahead.
Mhm.
I love Western astrology. I love them both. But I'm just saying, the sun is where the sun is. If you look up, look at the top of buildings. Look at the horizon. Where's your freaking horizon? Even if you live in the city, there is a horizon. Just look ahead instead of looking down. Just practice. When you see yourself looking down, practice looking up. I would say that's step one. Step two is, I would say, practice keeping your shoulders back every once in a while. Like a lot of us hold a lot of tension and aggression in our pectorals, men and women, you know. When we want to get the job done, when it's the axe to the grindstone, this is the motion, the bear hug, the getting to it, right? Spend some time just flexing your shoulders back and forth. Like let your spine be the center of a butterfly and move yourself back and forth and allow your spine to crack. Allow your pectoral muscles to stretch out. You know, just doing that every once in a while will release so much tension. And then I would say number three, I'm kind of torn, but I'll say I'm gonna give 4 points, man. I got to give 4 because I'm torn. So number three, when you sit down, every once in a while, try not to slouch when you sit. Try to sit like you sitting on a stool, like you ain't got no back to your chair. And it's just exercise, right? You ain't got to do it all the time, but when you think about it every once in a while, just sit up and then kind of move your body side to side, and you'll feel that your hip is supporting your spine as opposed to your tailbone and your spine slouching in the chair. Just every once in a while, sit up like you ain't got no back to the chair so that you're sitting on your hip bones, and that'll be a good exercise for pelvic strength. And then the fourth thing is when you walk. A lot of people don't pay attention to their feet. They don't pay attention to their legs. They just think, oh, I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go over to this spot here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. In your own home first, please. In your own place of residence, before you go out in the street trying this, just walk slow. Just practice walking a few steps forward and just feel the motion of how your foot hits the ground. Heel, ball of the feet, allow the ball of the feet to stay on the ground. Let your toes be the last thing that come up. And just practice walking slow with your feet forward. And you'll see a lot of people don't even do that. Sometimes they'll walk with their feet out or they'll walk with their feet in. But it doesn't mean they have to stay that way. You can practice walking even at your own place, you know, just for a little bit of time a day. Just walk with your feet and feel how your feet move, feel how your legs move. And that'll ground you to the planet, you know, ground you.
Walking consciously.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Transform Black man in America. What do it look like? Jeff, Sacred.
Let Jeff have this. I'll take the last part.
Yeah. For me, when you say that, I think about me as a young child, like kind of, and who who I wanted to be, who I kind of saw myself as, and like kind of how I expressed myself. And then kind of just going through life, and those things that I enjoy, those like, whether it's just me being, me expressing myself how I did at a certain point, like in a sense it kind of got like beaten out of me. It's like that's not.
Hold on.
Yeah, thank you, good.
Hold on. So you mean to tell me that the transformed melanated man going into the future is tuned in and tapped into their inner child?
Wow.
Say it again.
Is you saying that's an essential aspect to the transformation? Because we getting treated like we men as babies. I mean, because we were supposed to know that 2 + 5 = 7 before the teacher asked us, right? Because we got to be men and strong. At what point was it okay? Let me know. Raise your hands. Let me know. And Jeff, get back on it, because I'm gonna let you get back to cooking. I'm just saying, that's kind of crazy that you said that. That's powerful. When were you ever allowed to tap into your inner child in your adult relationships? You know what, babe? I think it's time for you to tune in and tap into your inner child this weekend. Keep it $1,200. When has a conversation ever came up? I'm gonna answer that for y'all. Never. Go ahead, Jeff. Keep cooking.
As a black man in this country, is that something that you want to look into, doing as far as tapping into your inner child? You might have to do that. You might not be able to tell nobody what you want. Like you just gotta do what you're gonna
do it,
despite everything going on around.
Can we clarify? It don't mean like you acting like you 3 years old, right?
Oh no,
it's not being childish. It's transformational. I mean, the same books that everybody else is reading. How come the whole world can tap into their inner child, but black men are excluded? I mean, it's parameters.
Say it again. Say it again, please.
For everybody, but at the same time, what does it look like for a melanated man to tap into their inner child with no judgment? Where, okay, I mean, shit, some of us never escaped that inner child, but I guess that would be another conversation. But man, keep cooking.
Yeah, that too. Yeah, but just and let me not project and say like everybody goes through stuff. Like, everybody does. But at the same time, there's always some. It feels like you have a target on your back. You got to be a certain way. Like to Prom's point earlier, it's like growing up in certain areas. Like you have to play like it's like a tough guy role sometimes that you feel like you gotta take on. Not because you're
even
tough,
when you're not tough. Like,
yeah,
you don't even have to be tough. Gotta act tough though.
I used to get in fights all the time, not because I did something, but like I knew somebody was right and exact, and people just didn't appreciate somebody who was tapped into that part of themselves. Like, and I saw that, and I'm like, I appreciate the light that I see in that person. I'm not gonna let you try to do something to that. Like we grew up on doing stuff like that, but yeah, that transformation, it gets back to being able to feel fulfilled in expressing yourself, however you feel as doing so. Like it really it shouldn't be a point where you're looking at you're thinking about how the outer world is perceiving you. Like, are you doing what it is that is kind of on this is touching your soul? And like, but can you still like be a man? Can you still take care of your responsibilities? Can you still be a productive member of society? Like, are you still loving to the people in your life? But at the same time, Like that's just a big thing. Like black men have been, you know, pushed so much to like abandon just that inner child, that, you know, sense of innocence that we still all like have, like that sense of creativity. Like that's the source of it. It's all about tapping back into that inner child, and yeah, like that's number one to me.
We have to work towards wholeness, is what I hear you say. We as black men have to be whole, right? We can't look at everybody else be whole. We was having a conversation on a pregame, everybody doing what they came here to do, and we trying to live out an archetypal projection, which not even in alignment with our true selves. I feel that we have access to wholeness. Are we strong enough? Are we willful enough to, like Jeff say, tune into our inner child? Serpent. Black man transformed in 2022 and beyond. What does it look like?
Thanks for restating that, because I was going to ask you, because I didn't want to answer the wrong thing. Appreciate Jeff and Prime for their answers. I almost put me to sleep, because it's just, that shit is beautiful. And I'm not, you know, pulling y'all horns or anything. The transformation past spirituality from being a black man in 2022 and beyond is when the so-called black man, aka melanated man, never again has to acknowledge himself as being black. Black men, melanated men, colored men, Moors, Hebrews, all of these different connotations and labels that have been associated with us are just distractions that take us out of alignment with our divinity, who we truly are. So I would say the transformation from the spirituality is the idea and the understanding that we no longer have to acknowledge ourselves as being black, because that was given to us. Not only was it given to us, it was forced onto us, right? So when the being recognizes that the avatar is not the actual being, and you are a being, a spiritual being having a human experience, when you finally do not have to acknowledge being a black person, you are in your evolvement. You are evolving past what they told you you are.
Shut the front door. Hold up. Are you telling me that our evolution is to go beyond racial classifications, because being that racial classification is in fact an unevolved state, is in fact a caterpillar being a caterpillar, when in fact it could be a butterfly? Are you telling me that?
Absolutely. Actually, it's more like a centipede.
That can't even be a
like,
butterfly?
That can't even be a butterfly, because you still think you're a centipede.
Damn.
You still think you're a centipede.
God damn it.
You still think you got 1,000 legs and you stuck to the ground and you can't move because everybody else is telling you where you're allowed to go, what you are allowed to do, and who you are allowed to be. The completion, or rather the elevation past what you think you are, is the thing that is holding the majority of, rather a lot of people back. I don't want to project.
Yeah.
We still think, or people still think, melanated people still think they have to announce themselves. Melanated people still think they have to explain themselves. Nobody else has to explain themselves. So as long as you accept the category
I've
that's
been through, I had a hard life.
Yeah, so have I. So have I. You know what I'm saying? Like the trauma or the AKA PTSD is irrelevant.
Yup.
It's irrelevant. Because
Look at
guess
it.
what? You still here, nigga.
Mm.
We still here.
Mm.
So everything that you think was holding you back, for you to still be in the vicinity of the things that is exactly the same thing that's allowing other people to elevate and to initiate themselves into enlightenment, it's the same very thing that you are supposed to be using for yourself. But however, you neglect to use that thing because you think you are what they told you were. The evolution of the black man is when the black man no longer has to announce that he is a black man. Like, everybody ain't got two eyes. They see what color you are. That is the final result of your being. We are in the result realm, Malkuth, Earth, right? But this is not who you actually are. Because when you are done with this avatar and when you are done with this body, you will go somewhere else. And then you're going to wake up and be like, oh shit, I wasn't black after all. Right?
That's gonna be
What
some crazy
happened?
shit.
Yeah, what happens when you find out you was a white woman in your past life? What happens when you find out you was a Chinese
What's
nigga
gonna
in your
happen when
past
you
life?
find out you was a goddamn centipede in your past
Yeah,
life?
in your past life,
What?
right? So all of these arguments that we having about fucking race, like, it's so 1930s. It's so 1930s. So I would say the evolution of the black man is the black man that doesn't have to announce himself as a black man.
Yeah.
That's what I would.
They call me Mr. Tibbs.
What?
I don't know.
I love that movie. I love that movie.
What do they call you where you're from, boy? They call me Mr. Tibbs.
Is that the
I'm
movie
sorry
where
if
they
I
was
was
like, if
long-winded.
you
Heat of
smoking,
the night.
if you, oh, I thought you was
That's
talking
the show.
about
That's the
Lean
show
on
in the
Me.
heat of the night. Nah, that's the show in the heat of the night.
I thought
Sidney
y'all was doing-
Poitier.
That was this. That was Sidney Poitier.
Heat of the night.
I don't know if Sidney
I
Poitier
don't think that
in
was
the heat of the
Sidney. It
night.
was
Wasn't
that dark skinned
that
dude.
wasn't Sidney Poitier.
who looked
That was
like
the
my
dark
dad.
skinned dude.
You talking about the show? I'm talking about the movie.
Oh, okay. I'm talking about the
okay.
show.
There was
The show
there
was based on the movie.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's what they do. They always
You
make sure.
old, like you old school. I wasn't saying you old, but you old school.
You like if we kick your knee out, like dust gonna fall out that bitch.
You
Like,
be
you
hip to shit that
like-
my grandma be hip to. Like what?
like,
Heat of the Night
like-
movie? My
Yeah,
great
like,
grandma was watching
you one
the
of them
show.
niggas. You one of them niggas that drink turpentine to heal yourself. Like,
Get that castor oil,
You
man.
know about
That's
tar
what- get some of that
water?
castor
listen,
oil.
listen.
Oh
Listen.
my gosh.
I swear by that shit. I'm talking shit about it, but I swear by it. You know what I'm saying?
See, I'm thinking about the dude that looked like my dad, and you talking
Yeah,
about
yeah.
Sidney
What's his
Poitier.
name?
That's
Was
the
it
nigga with the
Rollins?
one
I
big
can't
eye,
remember his
right? He
name.
got one big eye. He was
Yeah.
always with that big white, that big white man who had a belly the same size as him.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh snap!
See, I'm old, but I'm not old because I thought that was the show. You know what I'm saying?
I
I'm not
didn't.
old.
See, I'm not
I'm
old.
old, but I'm not
but I ain't
old.
I
old.
thought I was old, but no.
I'm gonna change my
Nigga, you
IG
ain't even
name.
close. You ain't touched
I'm
the
gonna
four
change
yet.
my IG.
You ain't touched the four yet.
That's a whole nother level. For
Yeah,
me.
Mr. Virgo, you ain't touched the four yet. So you ain't even there yet.
No, I ain't there. I ain't
Oh,
there.
man.
So we gonna go into a topic near and dear to all of us because as each of y'all stated, whether writing a blog or putting together a book or doing business in the new age, what are some pros and cons to doing business in these days and times? I
Besides
mean,
niggas ain't
it's
shit.
far.
Besides niggas ain't shit.
As far as ain't nobody gonna support you and shit. No, but no, seriously, what do you feel like is your biggest thing that you have to overcome that you've been working towards overcoming that you could possibly help somebody? I mean, just new age business. What's coming to your minds
I'll
when
go
I say
first.
it? Go ahead.
I go first. I would say cannabinoids. But I'm not in the cannabinoid field. That's somebody else that's on this panel who I am anxious to hear from. No, I would say the biggest hurdle would be self, and thinking that you have to appease everyone while you're starting your process and while you're trying to get yourself going and pointing yourself in the direction that you want to go as far as your goals and the things that you want to accomplish. I would say the biggest hurdle would be self, at least for me, because everything else is just a reflection and I only recognize what I see based on where I'm at. So if there's anything in my way, the only thing that would be in my way would be me. It's not anybody else. I mean, people are still going to be people. Niggas are still going to be niggas. They still going to do what they do. A lot of them like to watch you just to watch you fail. A lot of them just like to watch you to prop you up just to see how far you fall. So, keeping,
all you got to do is ask R. Kelly if you.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like keeping everything close to the sweater vest, so to speak. You know, and not announcing yourself, but showing up and being exactly what it is that you wanted to be is the best thing. You know what I'm saying? So I would say the biggest obstacle is self, because everything else is just a reflection of that.
I got you. You know, starting your process and not trying to be everything to everybody. If you got one or two people that fuck with you, serve those 1 and 2 motherfuckers like they motherfucking is going to be your destiny. You understand? Because the 1 or 2 people that supported my black ass when I started out with, I still fuck with them people to this day because as I grew, I feel like they was my good luck charm. I feel like if you starting out some shit, you need muses, you need good luck charms, you need people that's not going to always give you money, but just be there to, it's people, keep it a buck, 1,000, 1,000%. When you post something, that motherfucker gonna like your shit. If don't nobody else gonna like your shit, that person gonna like it. That's what you need, bro. And if you could get 1 or 2 people that really fuck with you, that's going to be your foundation. But if you trying to get everybody to, it could be 1 or 2 people that fuck with you, and that's what you need to be successful, right? But you could overlook those 1 or 2 people because everybody don't fuck with you. See how that works? But the question was, new age business, what does it look like? You know, what's the pitfalls in it? What's the good about it? What is some new technology out here that you can put the people on? Or is it something that you've been struggling with your business or whatever? You know, just keeping it a buck with business because, you know, family is business. Everything is some form of business. Whether you're going to work, trading your time for money, whether you're in business for yourself. And as I feel like the people on this panel, we are doing business at some point, and we got goods to share, and we got some lessons to learn. So that's kind of it.
I know for me, man, it's how for my particular giving product, whatever you want to call it, I'm dealing with the body and breathing and meditation so that you can, you know, like get in touch with your inner being, right? And unfortunately, today's internet market is set up for fast business. Like, I probably really need to,
shit.
Yeah, I probably really need like a physical, what they call it in business, a brick and mortar site. You know, I probably need a site that people can go into and work out and stuff like that. A hacker.
Oh shit. Oh shit. I thought I was in a movie. I thought Anonymous just showed up. Hold up. I'm sorry.
What I say?
I'm sorry. I just thought I was in the movie. My bad. Brain fart. That was a brain fart.
So
Tapping
for
into
me,
your inner child.
I would like to be online because I realize that You muted, Hood. I don't know what you said.
I said that's tapping into your inner child for the one time.
Oh yeah,
but go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah.
One time for the one time.
I know, like, not everybody I help needs, months of instruction or, weeks or a year or whatever, right? Some people just need a little bit of advice for a little something, and that's all right. So I'm trying to figure out how to break up what I'm doing into digestible chunks, like 1 minute or 2 minutes, a little tip. Like I noticed there's this acupuncturist on Instagram, Dr. Lily Choi. She always has some good stuff, and she keeps all her stuff to like either a presentation picture or a little reel or whatever for less than a minute. I even noticed that Deepak Chopra, right? My man can talk. I would love to meet him in person one day, but he can talk for hours. He started breaking up stuff about spiritual awakening, and he gives himself about 2 minutes. And after about 2 minutes, he's off. So he's like putting out like little chunks right now. And I know why he's doing it. He's doing it for all them people that get online and they can't look at something or read something or listen to something for more than 2 minutes. What happened to the songs of the 70s, man, when they lasted for 14 and 10 minutes? I just don't know. Anyway, I think that for me is the hardest challenge, is making my stuff available to people who don't have time, and just having the faith that I need to make steps, right? I can offer some things for a minute, 2 minutes, but I have to be ready for when they say, okay, I want to know more. All right, well, here's this. You can check this out. It's an hour long or a half hour long, or check out this ebook. It's only 10 pages,
For free.
Breaking it up.
Do it for free. Like put together. But no, if you got a lot of information, then you're golden, because you're going to do TikToks. Now, the reality of this whole...
I'm old. I can't do TikTok.
Listen. The idea for a situation like yours that you're trying to create, you don't want to do everything. Right?
Right.
Because part of it is that you probably couldn't, even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
You're going to have to leverage your talent and your ability with your team, whoever your team is. Yeah. As an OG, you got to delegate. How do you delegate? I don't fucking know. I ain't OG status yet. I be telling my kids, pick up that trash, like the whole morning, 20 minutes, I was trying to put on this guy's clothes. He's screaming and laughing at the same time. He just know he giving me a hard time. He know he giving me a hard time, and it's giving him the willies. So I say all of that to say, you know how to delegate. Yeah. So it's very important that you organize your team and say, you know what I want? I want to shoot this content, and I want y'all to chop it up for me and upload it for me. And I don't want nobody to know that anybody is helping me. I want because the person that you just said is doing that same thing. They got a team that's uploading everything for them, and it's making them look like, damn,
no doubt.
They on it. But really, they leveraging people who in the field. So I don't know what it looks like for you. Brainstorm, meditate.
Yeah.
It's going to come to you, but trust me, your team is going to leverage all of that for you.
Word.
Yeah, I think for me, I'll say, like one of the biggest things is just in regard to kind of expectations. And it's like a common, like expectations for yourself, as well as making sure that you are, kind of making sure that you're setting expectations for others in regard to what you're willing to kind of deal with for your business. Like for me as a small business owner, it's like I had an idea for what I wanted to create and to be able to provide for my customers. It takes a lot to get to where you want to be, but at the same time, like understanding that, it takes a lot. So like we're just gonna put in this work to, put in the time to get to where we want to be. At the same time, it's like realizing, who you are and what you are willing and capable of kind of putting up with, and being all right with that. I know that
That's powerful.
like this is the first year like I'm running. I started my business this year, and like I know during the summertime I was working. I was out, and like people saw my face. Like you're in the area, you saw Jeff. you saw me out there. At the same time, like I was just a personal story. Like I was working with someone specific in the city who was like helping me make my apparel from my business. She's like somebody who's been in business for a long time, and she let me know during a period of time where like I was just doing a lot. Like it's okay to like just to take a break. Like you can just like take time for yourself as well. And that's something like that I needed to hear from somebody, because me trying to take on so much, it's expectations. Like everything's gonna work out and gonna come at the same time. It's like just know that and like work towards that, but you don't have to burn yourself out. You don't have to do anything you're not comfortable doing. It's still gonna happen. It's still gonna come. Like just like make sure you understand that, and at the same time, like people who are looking to support you, like let them know like what you're willing to do, and set those expectations with them, because if you don't, like people can be looking for you to do something that like you know that in yours, like that's not what my goal was. That wasn't where I was trying to be. So like we need to just determine like, all right, maybe this isn't somebody I need to be working with, or to Hood's point earlier, it's like maybe you should be focusing on those people who are really supporting you at from the get go. Like those people, for just me personally, just another point is like I've had a great year, like because people who I did not know before have like saw me. They've heard me talk. They've seen my vision, and they back me like just so hard, like complete, like people who were strangers who have become like the biggest supporters of me this year. Like those are the people who I'm around people this year who I didn't know previous years, but because like they understand where I'm coming from, and maybe we're kind of headed in the same directions. Like those are the people who like you need to latch on to. So expectations for yourself, like knowing what you want and like what you're willing to deal with, being able to set expectations from others, just in regard to what you're kind of willing to do and put up with. Then just knowing like the people who like when you're moving the right way, like people are going to come into your life and your path that are going to help you, that you just didn't see coming, and like what you thought might happen just isn't going to happen. It's like that support is going to come from it'd be like miracles sometimes. You're like, who is this person? Like where did they come from? How do they support me? It's like making sure like just moving in your path, like the right things are gonna come your way, and don't fret on what you thought was supposed to happen. Like it's
I think a real big thing that you're saying is focusing in on who you are would be a major key to your development, versus you can have expectations. I want to go here, there. I want to do this. But what if who you are isn't in alignment with that? So do you focus on where are you trying to get in your business, or who you are as an individual? Once you get into that is the break, right? And if you are experiencing a break, the reason that you're experiencing a break is because you need to figure out who you are. Because I tell you, once you figure out who you are, easy for me to wake up and be myself. It's like I'm telling y'all, it's the greatest shit ever known to man. The only problem is everybody's not in my life is not on that level. That's the only problem. If everybody around me that everybody I knew can just wake up and be them, know who they are,
Magnificent.
it's over, right? And what you just said, bro, very important. You know what I'm saying? Because first year of business, not your last year of business. But if you know who you are, how can you not be successful? Every day I wake up and work towards my goals. I didn't say accomplish. I didn't say achieve. I didn't say make money. I woke up. I said I was going to be me. And I succeeded in that. Victory, right? Another thing, bro. Marketing yourself is how you get new supporters. I am who I am, but it's a whole selection of motherfuckers around me in this moment. 3 years ago, I was the same person, whole different set of people around me. Guess what's going to happen 3 years from now? I'm going to be talking astrology, this, Western astrology, whole different set of people. Because I am who I am, right? And it's always going to attract new people. Old people going to go follow somebody else, do whatever. But it's not your job to follow your supporters. It's your job to be yourself.
I know.
Say that twice.
Yeah.
Right? People going to buy shit. People going to buy Pepsi one day and buy Coca-Cola the next day. And ain't no loyalty. But you got to be Coca-Cola. You got to be your brand. You got to be who you are. You got to stand in that shit. And if it's right and exact, you going to have new people around you.
Yeah.
Right? If you was bullshit, when nobody fuck with you. You know what I'm saying? So it's some powerful points you brought through. I just wanted to bring them forward. But I want to keep the party going, keep the people dancing, things of that nature. Tantra.
Are we getting to the meat and potatoes?
Yeah, we getting sexy. we doing sexy time. Or are we? Or are we? Or are we?
Oh, right. Or are we? That's right.
Oh, shit.
Or are we? Tantra and its misconceptions. And if y'all don't want to answer the Tantra question, I got a double question, or you can answer both. As men, are you allowed to be imaginative? But I feel like Tantra and imagination kind of coincide, but correct me if I'm wrong.
They're the same thing.
Okay, that's what I felt like, but I'm gonna let you answer that last. But I just wanted to get the perspective of the people on the panel. And of course, if you're in the chat and you want to join the conversation, if you want to give us a little twerkulation, if there's any Tataliciouses that want to give us some
Tatalicious. Tatalicious might be there.
If you say it like that, she might.
Tatalicious. She might be there.
And, no, I'm just joking.
Tatalicious might be there.
Because
I might have my Lizzo. I might have my Lizzo in the chat.
We is talking about Tantra, or are we? No, but Tantra, active imagination is my question that I felt like. Are we allowed to be imaginative? Are we allowed to be creative? Are we allowed to exude our tantric energy? Or do we got to have the money in the bank account, fellas? Help me out.
I was already slated last, so that's why I ain't talking.
You want me to start, Jeff? I'll start.
You can start.
I'm gonna say it like this. In this, let's keep it in context, right? Before I start talking, I know everybody got their imagination of how things should be in the country or things should be in the world right now, but let's just take a minute to refocus and just understand how things are, right? Like a lot of these people that are showing their goods, you know, men and women, twerking and videoing on Instagram and all these other, let's not say any names of sites, right? But there's sites that people can pay to watch other people do silly things. And, you know, that is not what life looks like when you walk outside and you go to your 9 to 5 or whatever, unless you in the club, right? If you're in the club, it's a different story, because then you actually are getting paid, whether you're Mr. Snickers or Tatalicious, you getting paid to strut your stuff. So I'm not talking about them. And I'm not talking about the people that do pay for play. I'm talking about your regular, average, everyday John Doe, Jane Doe, you know, going out, making your way. When we step outside, young women are taught that it's okay to, and please don't get me wrong, I know there's a lot of backup material to this. Some women don't feel confident unless they have on makeup because that's what society has beat them down to, but I'm not talking about that issue. Young women can go outside and, you know, flaunt and look good and feel good and feel sexy, and they can walk that walk and people kind of like expect it. People like they want to see it. As you can see by the society we live in, they pay for it, right? When men do it, they tend to be feminized sometimes in the modeling world, and when they're not, they tend to be like typecast in these tough roles. So for a man to walk out of his place of living into the daily existence, and again, I'm not talking about Mr. Snickers or the pay for play people, right? For that man to walk out and so-called strut their stuff or exude confidence in their sexuality without being perverted, without being nasty about it, it's not something that is taught. It's not something that is necessarily looked upon with favor. It's looked upon like, you know, what the hell are you doing? Go get a job, you know, or do something else, right? Because most of the times the brothers that got time to do stuff like that, they might not be. But I shouldn't say most. But I'm gonna say it like this. It's harder for men and women to exude that personality when they've been taught that that's not the norm outside of the club or outside of those pay for play sites. I think it is the norm because you have to feel good about yourself, and feeling good about yourself and having a positive self-image doesn't always have to mean that you're sexually attractive to someone of the opposite sex or same sex if that's what you're into. You don't have to be sexually attractive to someone to feel good about yourself. And who said it? Hood. Yeah. It was one of the posts that you made, Hood, on Instagram. It was this movie Nick Cage was in, and he was talking about being in love with this woman. And he was saying that, you know, somebody was complaining to him or saying, you know, why do you love her? Why do you go all out? You know, why are you trying to be this and that for her? Why are you doing that when she ain't even paying you no mind, right? And he said, that love that I have for her, that's mine. That's mine, right? And it's like when you step outside, you ain't stepping outside to be sexy or fly for nobody else. You stepping outside to be sexy or fly for yourself. Anything you have to give that other people feel attracted to is yours. And when you own it and you can see yourself stepping in that energy, that is good creative use of your imagination. When you don't own it, when you let other people tell you whether or not you're pretty, handsome, fly, funny, whatever you want to call it, it don't even have to be sexy. When you let other people control your view of yourself, that's going against the Tantra. The Tantra is your view of yourself being held as that highest image. Tijuana Jackson said it. He said, your immaculate conception is of your self-image at all times, right? Your immaculate conception, that's what you always bringing out, is of your self-image. So if that ain't imagination, I don't know what is, right? You got to imagine yourself and be happy with imagining yourself doing the things that you're doing, how you want to do it, when you want to do it, yada, 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 yada.
Sounds like a lot. I gotta listen to that answer again to digest it. Cause you went in a circle, boy. You said I'm gonna start. No, it was great. It was great. You had me thinking. I like that. Go ahead, Jeff. No, it was great. I liked it because you brought it home perfectly. I appreciate that.
Yep.
Can you say the question one more time?
Yes, Tantra. If you have any understanding of it, bring some enlightenment towards it. If you do not, the next question or additional question would be, are you allowed to be imaginative in your life, or do you just have to have big fettuccine, guaparini, mozzarella in your bank account, and that's all?
Yeah. So to answer that question, I'll kind of say Tantra compared to kind of the last question. First off, to exist in this world, you had to better be utilizing your imagination. Otherwise, I feel like you're probably being, if you're not using your imagination, you're probably existing out of some sort of programming, and because that's what we're given, and whether that is like how we me as a millennial growing up, with the internet and porn being available, definitely not understanding what Tantra was. That what I was programmed to see, sex as something. I've been programmed to see like my personality is supposed to be like steered a certain way. I'm supposed to behave a certain way when I'm in a room of women or something like that. It gets to a point where like none of that satisfies or really fulfills you, and you like, and there when that happens, like what else are you gonna do? Are you just gonna keep doing what you were doing, keep following what you see, or like are you gonna go and utilize like use that imagination? Like what do you really want? How do you feel as though you should be moving to get to that ideal state? Like imagination is key, and people don't use it enough. Like it's your savior in a way. It's like how you get out of, how I've gotten out of so many bad situations like that. Just like trying stuff that and kind of to my earlier points, like doing things out of the box, making sure you're tapping into your inner child, into your soul. Like what you've seen, you're like, it's not what you're supposed to. It's not you. Like there's so much more of you that hasn't been tapped into, and only you can do that. And you can only do that utilizing your imagination. So yeah, I hope you utilizing that. Otherwise, you're trapped out here.
Imagination is key. I like that.
What you've seen is not you.
No. To exist in this world where motherfuckers will tell you all types of false truths, you gotta imagine something better for yourself, or else I gotta deal with what you thought about me. You said I was a piece of shit. Now this is what I gotta be now. But you might feel a certain type of way based off of what a person tell you about yourself that ain't even true. How can we honestly say that we've completely shed people's negative viewpoints that were cast upon us in this moment? Man, we got a lot of work to do as a collective, man. Go ahead.
Oh, I think first what I'd like to say is that when you hear the word Tantra, it's not about sexual position. Right?
Tantra is not.
Are you sure about that, sir?
Tantra is not Kama Sutra, basically.
It's not Kama Sutra, right? It's not about some different pretzel position you want to turn your girl into and find a perfect angle for you to put but no, it has nothing to do with any of that, right?
No pun intended.
The beautiful thing about the question is that the imagination part is what connects Tantra to astrology. Because your understanding of astrology doesn't work unless you have what? Imagination. It's the same thing with Tantra. Tantra is about getting past your second-rate understanding of sensory understandings. Like your five senses are second-rate. Your five senses are minuscule compared to the totality of what a human being fully realized is. Tantra teaches you how to use pleasure to get exactly what you want, based on imagination, based on meditation, based on inner workings within yourself, fine-tuning and finding the thing within yourself that makes you go, that makes you tick, and finding out who exactly you are, and then expanding that thing to the farthest reaches of anything that you could possibly imagine. So Tantra has absolutely nothing to do with pleasing someone. Tantra is about pleasing yourself and being good with pleasing yourself without having to explain why you're pleasing yourself. So the imagination is a key component to your Tantra, because what happens when you get past the five senses? What else is left? Is there nothing left? Do you not have intuition? Do you not understand how to read and understand energies? How to transfer energy? How to share energy with your partner? How to worship your partner without feeling like it's a demonstrative denotation to your character? It has nothing to do with your character. It has nothing to do with the being that you created within this facade with the mask that you choose to wear. It's everything to do that's within you that no one else sees, and being comfortable with showing what's in you and bringing it out of you. What is the saying? If you don't use what's in you will destroy you. But if you use what's in you, I think you guys go to right. So imagination is like part of the yin and the yang. And the man, more often than not, maybe this might be a little bit of projection, feels a little bit uncomfortable showing their emotional side to things. However, your sexuality as a man is feminine. Your sexuality as a woman is masculine. That's another topic for another story, for another discussion. But Tantra is connected to imagination, and your imagination is connected to whatever world, whatever life that you choose to want to create. This is how we manifest. The womb is the holding of creation. So if you're not using your imagination when you're going into the womb and when you're creating these beautiful, I don't know, whatever you want to use it, you're selling yourself short, and you're giving yourself second-rate pleasure. It's called, in Tantra, they call it second and third-rate pleasure, because you're just basing everything off of your five senses. But your five senses has nothing to do with your imagination. Your imagination has everything to do with your creation. I hope you guys see where I'm going. Creation connected with the womb and connected with the woman and the man, that makes you guys whole. So imagination is probably one of the most important parts when it comes to this thing we call Tantra. And Tantra is basically about love. It's basically about merging Shiva and Shakti within you, right? Because when you love yourself completely and wholeheartedly and fully, then you radiate that love. That shit projects off of you. You know, I think my brother Hood said it a few months ago. He said, you know, you never really love anybody. You only love yourself or you don't. And that love jumps off of you into another person that loves themselves.
Or not.
See, there's a reason why ain't shit niggas attract ain't shit women and ain't shit women attract ain't shit niggas. Because that's all you're radiating. That's the only thing that you're magnetizing to yourself. Tantra teaches you how to bring your masculine and your feminine together, merge them in within you together. So now you can radiate that to your partner.
You know
And
what that sound like? That sound
takes
like
imagination, bro.
that sound like, oh shit, I'm sad. I need to go to the bar to pick myself up. And a dude thinking, I need to get me some easy ass. So let me go to the bar. And those two energies match up and meet up every single time.
Every single time.
You ever been at a higher frequency? And when you're at a higher frequency, you initially say, I'm not going out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless it's a special occasion. But other than that, I'm not about to just go to no fucking sleazy ass bar and get drunk. Unless it's like my people's place or that's my routine and people know me there. But other than that, motherfucker, like that energy, it matches up so clearly, so easily when you down and out, and it's always parasite energies. Just be like, hey, let me buy you a drink, baby. Let me buy you another drink, baby. Let me buy you another drink, baby. Let's get this hotel room, baby. Like baby Jew and babies is dumb. You understand? Like babies is gullible. You can take advantage of babies. Right? Nigga calling you baby the whole time.
I'm so done with you. You said babies are dumb.
Babies is
Like,
dumb.
you know, a baby ain't nobody that you take seriously. For real. You about to take advantage.
Depend on what parents you is. I know parents that take kids really seriously. Like right after they born, just be mad.
Yeah. Why don't you got a job yet? Bitch, I'm two. What the fuck you mean?
Can't even talk yet.
I don't even know words. Stop pressuring me. Let's go play. Take me to the park. You ain't took me to the park all summer.
Yo.
I digress.
Yo.
Breathing. Who in this chat haven't took their kids to the damn park?
If you haven't, this weekend.
Hey, before it get cold.
That is tantamount to child abuse, damn it.
I'm telling on y'all. Take your damn kids.
What they call that? Children of welfare.
Outcasts say, take them damn kids to the zoo or to the park so they won't grow up in the dark being like your sorry ass.
I mean, the kids don't Netflix and chill, okay? So take their ass to the park.
Stop giving their asses YouTube and acting like
you
done did some shit. Because they quiet.
Give them a tablet, tell them sit down.
Well, listen, take their ass outside to the park.
Yep.
But segue, breathing, right? Because they got to breathe fresh air. I digress. Online school, everybody just in the house. Them kids is pale. You know they daddy dark skin. How them kids get that pale? You know they daddy dark skin. What we been talking about? We've been talking about melanin. Where them kids melanin at?
Yo, if a nigga ever go to the hospital for being melanin deficient, like I'm just done. I'm done.
It's gonna happen with this Oculus and online schooling. People afraid of
the whole eye gonna be like light right here.
Listen, the sun gonna treat them. You know, vampires weren't talking about the past; they was talking about the future. These stupid nigglets with these goddamn Oculuses. The sun gonna come up; it's gonna burn their damn pupils out. No. But segue. Breathing.
Yeah.
I want to talk to Prime about breathing and time traveling, man. I want you to set it off. And then I want us to all follow through with Prime and just accessing different dimensions through breathing. I don't know if y'all going to take notes. I'm going to take notes. But it's very important that we understand we breathe all day, every day, even when we sleep. And last time I checked, niggas ain't never went viral for breathing. So with that being said, niggas went viral for everything else.
Niggas went viral for milk crates,
Man.
and they ain't went viral for breathing.
In real life.
Let's get to that.
In real life.
Yeah, man.
And we weird for talking about it, but I digress.
I'm sad I know what he talking about. That's right. Shoot.
Yo.
All right, so everybody, when I say what I say, don't get triggered. So go ahead and get your triggering out the way now.
I'm taking notes.
Yeah,
right?
Please.
Just don't get triggered.
He ain't using no names. He ain't using no name.
Nah, because it's if you have a physical body and you came into this earth school, it's relevant. So from the time we start inhaling air after we've left our mother's wombs, the first thing we have to do is learn how to breathe in air. And it's so much more drier than amniotic fluid, right? You know, you sitting in the womb chilling and your lungs are filled with fluid, warm fluid, and you ain't got to worry about that. As a baby, when you come out and you start breathing atmosphere, then it's drier than what you used to, you know, might not be as oxygen rich, whatever, right? You got to get used to breathing first and foremost. So every time you do something, you're going to be breathing. If you try to walk, you might have to breathe a certain way because you start exercising your muscles, or you're trying to crawl, or you got to cry, you're breathing, right? So a lot of things in life that we do change our breathing patterns. And as we get old enough to relate to other people, like, you know, 2, 3, 4 years old, oh, you want me to do this? Yes, mommy. No, daddy. You know, whatever, right? Interacting with family, then we start to get emotions. Oh, you know, I messed up, or I didn't do this right. You know, kids will try and get their way. If they get caught, you know, they'll be sad or whatever, because they know that's what they're supposed to do. So we tend to associate crying and breathing certain ways with certain emotions, right? Anger, when we're upset about something, you know the breathing pattern. You can hear it, right? When somebody's joyful about something, you know the breathing pattern, right? When somebody's upset or lonely, you get that, you know, that sigh. You know the breathing pattern, right? If you just search through your being, you'll see that you've associated with almost every emotion and action of your life some kind of breathing pattern.
You literally talking about how married people talk to each other, but I digress. Keep going.
Facts.
Yup. So now fast forward to, if you like me and you you got a lot to do.
I didn't mean to do that.
It's all right.
I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. You got a lot to look back on though if you
Yeah.
But the beautiful thing is you don't have to change your past. You just have to recognize when your emotional energy pattern and your breathing pattern are in sync to reinforce some negative programming that you don't want to keep around. So say I want to be nicer to people, right? Like say people say I'm too harsh or my words are too, you know, I don't know a good word for it, too terse, right? And I want to say, okay, I want to be nicer to the people around me. So if I'm focusing on that, I have to be able to catch myself when I'm starting to catch an attitude. Well, how do I know when I'm starting to catch an attitude? I can either tell by my emotional state, I can tell by my posture, I can tell by my breathing, right? And if you're sensitive enough to pick up on your energy and other people's energy, you can tell by your energy, which is really kind of your emotional state. So once you realize that you're doing something, that's the key. the moment you realize you're doing something that you say, why am I still doing this? Or why am I doing this way? Or, anything that you want to question or redirect, stop right then and there, pull back a little bit, pause if you can, and just take a deep breath in, take a deep breath out, right? Because that's when you start changing your breathing pattern for how you approach things in your life now, you'll stop welcoming back things from the past that so easily get you. Yeah. So the time travel aspect of it is not solely dealing with the past, because when we get this programming that these things happen and we start breathing these certain ways, our mind, which should be like a pet for us on a leash, but most people treat it like the head of household.
Whoa.
Right?
Wow.
Our mind, which should be like a pet on a leash, says, you remember what happened 5 years ago? You remember what happened yesterday? Oh no, you know what's about to happen again? Oh, you see so-and-so walking down the street? You better start running. Oh, so-and-so, you know what's going to happen, right? When you start listening to that, and then what we just talked about with Tantra and imagination, you start letting the power of your imagination be usurped or taken over by this beast that you should have on a leash, which is your mind. I'm not saying it's bad, but it needs to be trained. So the moment your future plans start reminding you of things of the past, you have to realize through Tantra, that is not you. That is your mind being scared that the past will repeat itself.
That seemed too hard though, man. That seemed extremely difficult.
Said, you got to drop your expectations. You got to drop your expectations. Be willing to take surprises, right? Like what you say, Hood, would be everybody. It's going to be a surprise party for everybody, right?
That seemed a lot more difficult than trying to get a G-Pack off.
Yeah, I'd rather go sell some dope or something like that. Why do I got to do all of this?
You ain't got to.
No, I'm just saying.
You ain't got to.
But listen, that's so powerful. Your mind is a pet on a leash, right?
Pet on a leash. Hot damn
versus a thing that just like, hey, y'all, I'm here. This is all for me. Like, imagine your mind. You would have just thought about, you done watched the nastiest porn, and then you go to a search situation and your mind is like, I hope they don't know that I was watching that porn. Like, when nobody even thinking about you and your deviant ass.
Yeah.
You got to get your ass to the back, fam. You doing too much. Like, you just everywhere and nowhere at the same time.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
Powerful. Who's going to do that, though? That I understand what you're saying. I just don't see no.
It's work because it's
no
work.
Recourse in that, like
it's work. But what you do is that you free yourself from the control of programming. Every time you do that, you break a little bit more of the cage or the chain or whatever you want to call it. That paradigm, that thing that Bobby Hemmett said is over. Every time you take the time to do that, a little bit more of that dissolves away from controlling your life. And if you can take your mind's concept of the future away from your imagination and still not be so willing to jump in and act on your imagination, but just be, right? Let your imagination go everywhere. You don't have to guide it to a particular place. You don't have to move it this way or that way. That's a trick of the mind. If you just let your imagination flower like a big tree growing everywhere, and it will come back and bring things back to you without you going to get it. The way you do that is to stay in the now. So staying in the now
and right,
so that you keep track of these things. Why was I feeling this way? Because I was thinking about this in my past, right? Help you to resolve your feelings. Because if you better have a damn good memory if you ain't writing. I don't know how else to say it.
I don't know how y'all not writing. Like, y'all full of shit. I'm tired of y'all not writing. Y'all getting on my nerves with that bullshit.
Get a Get a cheap pad. It don't have to
And
be no
you could
fancy
get
journal book.
nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
$2.
Right.
You could be
Even-
saving your life.
Exactly. Dollar store. Get a pen, get a pad.
Bro, and just get to writing some shit down. Cause ain't no way you about to think yourself into shit. You ain't
Yeah.
gonna think yourself into no skill, talent, or ability. You can't think it.
So that's one of the divine things about writing, is that sooner or later, that real you can't hide yourself in writing.
Mhm.
Like anything you put out to the world is going to show a little bit of your soul, if not a lot of your soul. But when you start to writing and you get in that kind of free flow state, you start to really see where you coming from. And then you got to be willing to, make those changes. So all that being said, the breathing patterns that come with your past experiences do not have to travel into your future experiences. The breathing patterns can be halted by you just taking the time to be every once in a while. Just be. Every 5 minutes, just take the time to exhale fully and allow yourself to inhale and exhale through your nose, and just be for a minute. Just
And
be.
stop doing them little petty breaths around your baby mama and your baby dad when you mad.
Yeah.
Stop
Yes.
doing that. Stop doing that. Say what you need to say.
Nothing irks me.
I'm talking
more as
to
a
myself. I'm talking to
I'm
myself.
just saying.
I do
Look,
that.
man.
I do that.
Everybody does it. Everybody does it. When you know how to read people's breathing, shit.
It's me. I'm y'all.
Look, I've had to catch myself, man. My
How can
wife
she
called
not
me out.
translate my breath? How's she not gonna translate my breath?
How she don't understand
Right?
these deep, hot breaths.
Yeah, my wife has had to call me out a couple of times, like, "Oh, is that an attitude I hear in your breathing?"
Yeah. That's the problem that arises in long relationships. Like
Mhm.
motherfuckers
They know
recognize everybody's breathing patterns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
just be like,
Is
yeah, I
there
know you
anything
got
wrong?
an attitude. You got an attitude.
Yeah.
That's why chicks always be trying to figure out why niggas can't read their mind. Like you should know this breathing pattern
This
right
breathing
now.
pattern.
I'm feeling some type of way right now, and you want me to explain it to you too? You
Do
didn't heard
not
me
understand?
hyperventilating over here.
Matter
Yeah,
of
yeah.
fact, where's my asthma pump?
Mhm.
I asked for my asthma pump. You should have translated that I was pissed off.
Mhm.
Can't breathe water right. Anyways,
Right.
man.
Yeah, man.
What kind of feedback y'all got for what Prime has said? I done took too many notes, but what y'all brothers got off of breathing and breathing patterns, time travel, and if you wanted to, I'm sorry if I interrupted you too.
No,
so-
I'm good.
No.
I'm good.
Yeah, I mean, Prom's definitely
Thinking about this shit too much.
No, it's open. Like you got me in check because now I can't even do this shit no more. That's my go-to move, Prime.
But that's real talk.
That's my shit.
I do
That's
this.
my shit, dog. Like, what do you mean? I
I'll
can't
be
do
mad
that
at-
no more.
I don't want to verbalize myself. I just want to. but you know what? I have been in like the front of a line, and as a black man, sometimes when they hear you breathe and like they sometimes they know like,
Yep.
I'm trying not to throw fists right now.
Yep.
But, all that.
Yep.
But I mean, only thing I really got to say is, like breath is just in regard to that aspect. It's like something that we as humans, but we take it for granted, like too much, and it is something that is something that you can work on yourself. It's something that you can like put practice in.
Free.
Yeah, it's something that can have a tremendous effect in your life if you learn how to, not necessarily control it, but to have that more control, like just understand like the aspects of it and really learn how to appreciate breathing and the practice of it, because to a lot of people in my family who struggle with that aspect, whether it's asthma, whether it's like just everything. And I had an instance recently that just like made me just respect, you know, the fact of breath. Like there's times where like your breath ain't always there, and it's like I felt like just the sense of like how important that is to life. Like you want to be here, you need to make sure like you're breathing correctly, and that not just being here, but like being here fully. Like,
embodied.
You need to be able to practice and utilize. So just kind of how we talk about everything, like make sure in every aspect of your life you have gratitude and appreciate everything, and that includes like the breath, because it is so important, and it does like affect like your life in that moment, like the way that you are breathing. So just respect that, and if you have more questions about breathing, reach out to Prime.
It sounds like from the notes that I was taking that there's a connection between repetitious breathing and the human being's perception of psychological time. So within psychological time, your breathing is connected to past things that you've been through that you view as either pain, maybe trauma, maybe PTSD, or just randomly shit that you just don't care for. You know what I'm saying? Randomly shit that you just don't like, you know? And as an emotional nigga, I can be firsthand and saying, raise my hand and say, when doing my inner work and continuously doing my inner work, I noticed that when I feel a certain type of way about something, I breathe different. If I'm getting or developing a particular type of attitude, I breathe different. And not to mention, I've done a lot of fucking drugs, so I breathe different. And just, connecting it to, the things that you've been through versus what you're going through in the now, that is where the disconnect happens, because what you're doing in the now has zero to do with what you've been through in your past. But your mind will tell you, if it's not on the leash and it's the one running the show, your mind will tell you that, this is about to happen again.
Yes.
You're about to be disappointed again.
Yes.
This person is going to let you down again.
Yes.
And so forth and so on. Those events from your past are associated with a particular type of breath. So with my inner work, I started to, whenever I felt myself getting an attitude or feeling some type of way, I started to try and breathe differently. One of the practices that I have adopted into my so-called small-ass breathing repertoire is, instead of breathing fast, when I feel a certain type of way, I would breathe slower. When I have the opportunity to take a full breath, and then let it come out as it's supposed to come out, as opposed to me trying to force it out. And I noticed that within my path, when I'm feeling a certain type of way, or I'm getting excited, or I need to make a point or whatever, my breathing is non-existent. Like I try to do everything in one breath. But when I'm fully relaxed, when I'm completely realized within my being and I'm grounded and I'm going through a particular type of thing, it's easier for me to navigate, because I know that that thing is not whatever it is that I think it was from my past. And so I only believe that these things continue to correspond with our past is because the mind is the one playing the tricks on us, and we, or me, or whomever at that particular moment doesn't have control of the mind. And Prime is right. It is a beast. Mind is all, universe is everything, mental. It's a beast. You know what I'm saying? Because it is repetitive and it's persistent and it's unrelenting. You know what I'm saying? And if you're not aware that these things are being brought back to you just to test you, as opposed to making you want to suffer, then you understand that the mind is part of it, and the breathing goes with the mind. You know what I'm saying? Like it goes together. It's a unicycle. You know what I'm saying? Like if that's even a thing. Listen,
It
whatever.
is. That's dope.
And that circle, it goes around every component within your being. But what happens is, or I know what has happened for me is, if I just don't care and I just want to feel the way that I want to feel at that particular moment, because I've convinced myself this is how I'm supposed to feel, then the breathing, like I said, is non-existent. So a lot of inner work needs to be done. And that's why you niggas don't need to be Netflixing and chilling, but die to crash.
The beast in Revelation stands for generalized evil or error in human experience. It is the greatest mystery and most infuriating paradox in human thinking. Thinking.
Yeah.
It ain't no big old black dude with fangs and sweat and funky breath knocking at your front door.
No
That's
horns,
not a beast.
No horns.
No horns, no hooves.
He ain't got a horn tail.
No tails, no hair.
Damn.
Your thinking is the
Change
beast.
that thinking.
Powerful.
I want to get to the next trigger point, but
I do too, but I got to go. So I got to get up off this thing. But it's been an enlightening conversation.
Yeah.
Good
to see y'all again.
The last time somebody said this, we did a video, and this time we did it. Somebody did a video. So whenever y'all feel the need to want to do a video, just let me know. And set this thing up, have these conversations, because I got a lot of use for this, a lot of notes, a lot of things that I'm going to be redoing and talking about in other conversations. So
nice.
Be sure to listen to this episode and take notes. I don't feel like you're going to get any value by just looking at us and listening to us. Personally. Because we don't look that good. We ain't that sexy.
I caught that face, Brian.
Thank you.
I didn't get to screenshot it, but I caught it.
It's very important that you take your notes. It's very important that you understand the information that was brought forth, because it was specifically for your development. Is everything in divine timing. But wherever y'all at, enjoy y'all friends, enjoy y'all family, enjoy y'all tribe, enjoy y'all collective. But before we hop off this thing, how can people find y'all if y'all want to be found?
Sacred Dark Serpent Instagram. It's very simple. Sacred Dark Serpent Instagram. That's pretty much it. Sacred Serpent Media on YouTube. And hopefully I can help coax these brothers into bringing Chakra Nova back every Thursday. Thank you.
Yeah, G.Elijah144 on Instagram, as well as check out my business, Elijah Green 144. www.elijah-green.com. Check me out. Just, a lot of things to come. I'm excited. Just keep looking. And I'll be doing marketing, so I'll be pushing. So you won't just have to find me. I'll be finding you as well.
Right.
Pull up on me.
Pull up on me. I will still be on Instagram, prime.harmonic. And if you email me, it's prime.harmonic@gmail.com, but put something like breathing or Chakra Nova in the subject line, or I'll think it's junk mail and I will delete it. But this conversation tonight, thank you, Hood, for the platform. Thank you, Serpent. Thank you, Elijah, for coming on. I feel like we came back together to get online because we were having a cool conversation. And I feel like since we put it out there on the live, just to let you know, it don't never stop. The growing don't never stop. So I challenge you to, like Hood said, go back and listen to some of this stuff. Take notes and see. Keep going. Keep going on your journey.
I promise you, if you take notes while you listen to whatever you're doing, you'll get the value of it, because learning at a level of receiving it ain't shit. I don't care what it is. You're going to have to apply that shit. And if you don't know what you actually applying, you going off the mental,
Lost.
you ain't really serious about this shit. So I challenge you. It's another challenge on top of that challenge. To get a Skillshare account, get a notebook, and learn something that you could apply in your business. Don't tell me you serious about marketing your business, but you haven't developed a skill in marketing your business that you can utilize.
Yeah.
Because your business is amazing, but if you not actually marketing yourself, then who gets to know that your business is amazing? And you know, it's all a learning process for me and everybody, for McDonald's, goddamn Burger King. We all learning how to market ourselves a little bit better. So if you ain't like a multi-billion-dollar corporation investigating in how to market yourself just a tidbit better, then you behind the curve. So get over yourself. Not y'all, you know, y'all
No,
y'all within yourselves.
That was meant for me, because I'm scared of advertising myself. So that was for me.
Get over yourself, and you know, get used to it.
Yep.
Self-love though. Self-love before you start promoting yourself.
It radiate.
Because it's who you are. It's not what you do. It's not what you have. Because tomorrow, if I'm selling socks or if I'm selling my ass, guess who's going to be the same diligent, persistent in selling his ass? Oh, you got me fucked up. I'm on every site.
Hold up.
With this ass being sold.
You could be diligent and sell your ass at the same time. That is
Hey
special.
man, that's working hard.
That is special.
Yes. If you want to. If you want to. No, but y'all have a wonderful evening, and thank y'all for watching, and see y'all next Thursday if the fellas got the time.
Yeah. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.